This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
As Cheyenne's weather turns warmer, dust and pollen can become a problem for those with allergies, asthma, or respiratory issues. And the last thing you want in the summer heat is poor air quality in your home or office. So it's time to turn to Marv's Plumbing and Heating. That's right, Cheyenne's most trusted plumbing, sewer, and heating business also services air conditioning. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, can handle all your air conditioning needs. Give them a call, 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And a very good Tuesday afternoon, Larry Perotti, Junior Perotti, across the way, Nick Perotti. We have Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. It's Taco Tuesday, so load up on some delicious tacos from our good friends at Taco John's. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. 'Tis the year to get your Jayco, and save, 30% right now? How about a Jayco RV or fifth wheel? They're for the taking. Well, you'll have to do some paperwork over at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, Ray and Cindy's Place. And again, we always know them for delicious lunch and dinners. How about breakfast? 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, they offer up some good items for you, the chicken biscuit, the hash brown scramble bowl, just to mention a couple. And again, they have two convenient drive-thrus. Chick-fil-A, corner Windmill, Del Range, right across from Menards.
Why not just grab it after you go see Post 6 in the Cheyenne Mustangs? Again, it's right across from Powers Field.
Yeah, that's where you grab lunch and dinner.
There you go.
As a matter of fact, you want to get pre-dinner tomorrow.
I guess it's going to be late on the
got a late game there, Key of Cheyenne. I want to thank my good friends AJ and Greg and the entire crew of their Key of Cheyenne who put you into a vehicle, and they do a great job out there at Key of Cheyenne.
What about you?
One of these days, and when I can afford it. I'm poor. I can't afford tomorrow.
Oh, please.
Platte Valley Bank. I want to thank my good friend Rick Flood and his great staffs. 2 locations. Original location on Vanda High on the north side. On the east side, catch them at the corner of College and Pershing. Medicap Pharmacy. For all your pharmaceutical needs, Gene and the great crew over there with your doctor's prescription, they'll fill those said prescriptions, explain those medications to you. Convenient drive-through, same location as always, right next door to Texas Roadhouse on Bluegrass Circle. Lennox Auto Body, ×2, founded by Dick Lennox. Tradition carried on by his daughter Heather. Main Repair Center on Dunn Avenue, and of course they have the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Talk with Tim and his wonderful crew about their special CD rates going on right now. Open Monday through Friday at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Right across the street, Joe's Place. Joe Mondello. If you are in for delicious Paisan cuisine, how about that pizza? Ranked top 10 in the nation by the Food Network folks. They know something. You and I know something. They've been around for a long time. Delicious Italian cuisine over at Mondello's Pizzeria. We also want to thank Tim and the wonderful crew over at the Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Give him a call, 635-4592. Mars Plumbing and Heating. Get those air conditioning units checked right now by Mars, 1515 Logan Avenue. Lincoln Way Liquor. Grab a cold one for the ride home. Make sure you pop it open when you get home at 2825 East Lincoln Way. And, of course, we kick things off with our scoreboard, which is being brought to you by our good friends Will and the gang at Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
And guess what? I got nothing because there's nothing local going on again. It is the big Copa tournament coming up tomorrow. Again, all that schedule we have posted, or at least I will repost as of tomorrow. Again, who will be in action, including Post 6 and the Cheyenne Mustangs. And then also, too, again, the Cheyenne Extreme. They will be at least competing this weekend as well. But unfortunately for today, there is nada. There's no hockey. There's no basketball. There is nothing going on.
And there's no baseball going on
Well,
right
you got
now.
the pro side at least.
Yeah, I got nothing going on until later
how about
on.
you get
Matter
to
of fact,
it?
when we get off.
There you go. Get to it.
It'll be the Yankees and the O's from Camden Yards. It's the Nats and the Pirates at PNC. Rangers will take on the Bo Sox at Fenway. The Reds and the Indians at Progressive Field. It will be the Phils and the Mets at Citi Field. Brewers and the Marlins at Marlins Park. The Motor City Kitties of Detroit will take on the Rays at the Trop. Also in action, the Blue Jays at the Braves. Cardinals will be at the White Sox in the 6 o'clock hour. Royals at the Twins at Target Field. Athletics, we'll see if they can do it again over the Astros at Minute Maid. They blanked them last night 2-0. Holy cow. How about the Rockheads? They're at home. They will face off with the Diamondbacks. That'll be a 6:40 time. Let's see. Tyler Anderson will toe the rubber. He'll go up against Patrick Corbin. Cubs and the Giants. And I stayed up all 11 innings last night. I got to be out of my mind. I got to be in bed by like
Pablo got it done.
Yes, he did. Johnny Cueto will be on the hill for San Francisco. M's and the Halos tonight in SoCal. Dodgers and the Padres, they'll hook up at Petco. Our lack of scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
This is the Pepsi that's got a date with your taste buds. We're talking 1,000 bubbles dancing a two-step with you and 2 tacos at 2 a.m.
Order number 83. Come on, you're up.
This is the Pepsi that has mastered the art of the late-night munchies and is always down to dig into some deep dish.
Hey, we don't do deep dish, capiche?
Try telling that to Chicago. This is the Pepsi for po' boys, pulled pork sliders, and the godfather of all sandwiches, the Godfather. This is the Pepsi for street carts, anything a la carte, and is dying to make the leap into your grocery cart. Come on, take us home with you. This is the Pepsi for those who are forever fun. This is the Pepsi for every generation.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Summer is here, and the Wyoming Beer Distributors wish you a happy and safe summer with this reminder. If you are serving alcohol at one of those great backyard barbecues or company picnics, it's your responsibility to make sure that none of your guests drink and drive. Pace the drinks, push snacks. Be sure to offer non-alcohol beverages and stop serving alcohol well before the party's over. No one should be put at risk because of drinking. It's up to you to do your part. This message sponsored by the Wyoming Beer Distributors Association, the Wyoming Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
John Mason here for Lincoln Way Liquor. I want to thank Cheyenne for helping us grow during our first year of business. We have over 5,000 new customers in our database in just 13 months. Our customers love our low prices, free ice, 2% credit for future purchases, and some really friendly service. And we always have 16 weekly specials on beer, wine, and liquor. We ask you to compare Lincoln Way Liquor, 2825 East Lincoln Way. We're not the largest, but we might just be the best.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 92 and winds out the south at 10 to 15. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 58 and winds out the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. On Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 88, and on Wednesday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 57.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
It is Wyoming Sports Talk today. It's a very special day, Nick. Do you know why it's a very special day today?
You realize that I'm trying to produce right now as you're asking me questions, but what's so special about it?
You are a native of Cheyenne, so tell me what's special about this day. You went through the schooling here.
What's so special about today?
July 10th.
I don't know.
Wyoming Statehood Day.
Oh, to be honest, I did not know. I was
didn't know that either?
No, I knew it. I forgot.
Oh my gosh! I'm the.
I mean, this state's been around for how long? You know,
I'm the foreigner in this place, and I've only lived here 33 years, and I know every July 10th, 1890 was the year that Wyoming became the 44th state of the Union.
Congrats! I got other things on my mind right now.
Okay.
Well, again, also to our guest across the way, he's got a lot on his plate coming up too.
Well, yeah, he does. He's going to swing the clubs, hopefully, too, and get a chance to play a little bit. We'll get you close to the mic. We got our good friend Michael Poor in here with the Wyoming Airport Golf Course. And, of course, he's the head coach at Cheyenne Central when golf will be in play here pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's almost like you get done with this tournament and you got to start getting ready for the high school season. But 62nd annual Terrell Auto Center Wyoming Open. And, again, thank you to Brian Terrell for ponying up to be a part of this special event. But as we were kidding before we got on the air, I got here in '86, so this is my 33rd event. This is a family run tournament, so the Pops and you guys have carried on a family tradition for 62 years. I'm very impressed.
Well, we haven't been there for the whole 62, Larry, but I'm 54, so this is Dad's 53rd year at the airport. So I think he's been involved in every one but about 2 or 3.
And the nice thing about this tournament, it's popular amongst the pros. And again, these are the local or regional pros, but also too it's a great gathering of old friends that either play on a regular basis out there or they come out once a year. They put it down on their calendar. I got to come to Cheyenne. I got to see my good friends out at the airport golf course. And again, it's almost renewing old acquaintances when you have this tournament.
Oh yeah, definitely this year too, Larry, because Ron Velocic, for example, is coming back. He hasn't been back in about 4 or 5 years. And there's a couple, 2 or 3 that haven't been back for a while or are coming back. So you're absolutely right, and that's what's fun about it.
And we'll talk about the Pro-Am coming up here in a bit, but I want to talk about on the pro side.
I just want to get, at least again, if folks are not familiar though with the Wyoming Open though, Mike, just kind of give us a rundown of what exactly does it entail. Again, where is this getting played at? Again, how many holes? Just kind of cash prizes as well. Just talk about what the Wyoming Open is.
Well, the Wyoming Open is a Pro-Am on Thursday. We'll have approximately 278 players for 2 shotgun starts at 7:30 and 1:30 on Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the 54-hole tournament. We have 123 professionals and 86 amateurs competing over the 3 days. The purse this year, the first prize is $10,000. That's up from $7,000. And the total purse is just a little over $52,000.
And that's 7.
And you're talking about 7. Now it's up to 10.
Well, again, that's what I remember. Is always at 7,000. It stayed at that mark for quite a while.
As I was joking with him, Mike, again, can we have like a celebrity portion of this, like how they do at Pebble Beach, of maybe we could compete for like that cash?
There you go. Yeah, that would be nice.
I mean, we're talking
cars in the parking lot aren't safe.
Well,
that's true too.
That's okay.
And Central and Yellowstone, and I think we can afford the insurance. But again, with this tournament. And again, the prize money has been raised to $10,000. That is very important right now because that tells me that a lot of sponsors and a lot of folks who donate their time as well as money to this tournament have really made this thing a lot bigger than it has.
No question, Larry. Without those sponsors and without those people helping us, there is no way that we could put on this event that we put on. It's one of the premier events around. And it's hopefully with this raise in the first prize prize, we'll get that much of a better field. Not that we had bad fields in the past, but I think just looking at this field this year, there's a lot of names I don't know, to be honest with you, but I know there's some pretty good players in the field.
Former champions in the field.
Oh, there's a lot of former champions in the field, and there's some good local players. Josh Creel comes to mind right off the bat. He qualified for a tour event about a month ago and played really well, made the cut, and just didn't play well the final day, but he made a pretty good significant check, and that'll be fun to watch.
And again, with the pros being here, and I'll explain this for Nick. This is not your PGA pros. This is not, let me rephrase that. They are professional golfers, but they're not the guys you're going to see on tour.
You're not seeing Tiger come out to Cheyenne and compete.
It's the guys,
the club pros.
Well, yeah, there's
a lot of them.
There's a lot of club pros. But there are a lot of guys that are between tours. Like, let me see if I can explain this. There's the regular tour, the web.com tour, which is kind of like the minor leagues, if you will.
Right.
And then there are various tours around the country. The Dakota tour, they play a New Mexico tour, that sort of thing. They used to call it the grapefruit circuit, and a lot of these guys play that. And they're just trying to make a stepping stone to get to the big time, and it's amazing what you see, in this little state open, or last week in the Laramie Open.
I was going to say you're following Laramie Open, and again we have some in Colorado that will be following this one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
But this one here is kind of, and I'm going to use the word here. It's kind of like the Mecca. For some reason, each year. It's circled on the calendar. 4 days. We got to be in Cheyenne to play this tournament. What makes our tournament so special?
I think the big thing, Larry, is that we've last couple of years we've had a cut, and this year we're not going to cut, due to various factors. But you could always play, and you didn't have to grind, and it was it wasn't work, and I think that's what makes it special. It's not like other tournaments that you play Thursday, Friday, and hope you make the cut for Saturday and Sunday. I mean, you get 3 rounds, regardless if you shoot 0 or 150, and I think that makes it special. And a lot of guys make it a family deal. We get a lot of young guys with their families that come and spend the 4 days in Cheyenne and have a good time. And that's what Dad envisioned as he's run this thing. And I hope to continue that, because after all, we use his model. I mean, I haven't changed. In the 53 years that he's done it, we haven't changed much as far as the model. We've tweaked a few things, obviously, because, things change. But we use the same model, and we get the same people, and we get new people all the time. And it's just a great event for Cheyenne, I think.
Is this a situation, though, again, with the Wyoming Open, as you mentioned, again, not PGA professionals, but again, kind of like at least the minor leagues, so to speak. But is this something where, again, if these professionals come in, win this tournament, is there a possibility to kind of get that exposure out there, again, where it is a tournament that has existed for, again, well over, quite some time, but is it something where, hey, that's a great boost to whoever's kind of career, if they are aiming to kind of elevate themselves and say, hey, I'm possibly
Nick,
PGA ready or something.
Yeah, Nick, it is, because the tour is weird, because they don't have a qualifying school anymore. They use the top 25 at the web.com, so it's kind of hard to get on the tour anymore. But you've got so many young kids coming out that can play. They have to have a place to play. And the Wyoming Open is kind of a step below maybe the Colorado. There's a couple state opens that are pretty big, but yeah, you're right. It gets them, at least gets them an exposure to maybe to get to a Colorado or something else to play, and a lot of the kids make the step, and it's fun to watch.
Is that something where, again, as you are head coach over at Cheyenne Central, but again, as you're teaching the youth over there, is that something where you kind of put in their minds at least of saying, hey, take a look at this, maybe you want to compete, and just kind of
absolutely.
So at least again. At least have that opportunity to come out and compete amongst, again, this is kind of within the Rocky Mountain region,
right,
at least.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it is within the Rocky Mountain region, Nick, but I've got players from almost every part of the country. I've got guys from New York. I've got guys from Florida. I've got guys from Texas. But it gives you an opportunity. It gives you an opportunity that you wouldn't have otherwise. It's like you said, Nick. You get to see people from other regions of the country. You get to see all types of abilities. You get, for an example, you get a Josh Creel, or in the past a Mike Klein, who had played on the tour. It was a cup of coffee, but hey, they were there.
Right.
And that's an experience that not everybody gets, and you get to play with that guy in the field. And, it can't help but help you if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, and I remember years ago, and I know we're going to age us right now, Barry Concert tearing up the course and shooting the fifth. Did he go back-to-back, if I recall?
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's a great tournament. And one of the things that I know about golf etiquette, you play foursomes, but You guys on Thursday, you're doing a little exception to the rule on Thursday with the Pro-Am.
We play six-ems.
You play six-ems. And again, like you said, you have two shotgun starts early in the morning and in the afternoon. Tell us a little bit what the pros and the amateurs do. And there's also more prize money that the pros can pick up in this too.
Right, Larry. We play a pro sweeps. We pay the lowest pros in each of the Pro-Ams, AM and PM, and we make them separate. We don't put them all together. So if you're playing in the PM Pro-Am, you're only playing against those guys that are playing in the afternoon, and vice versa in the morning. It gives the amateurs a chance to see some of the young kids that we get, and then some of the old guards that have won the tournament in the past. The older guys like the Pro-Ams a little better. I'll be honest with you. Some of the young kids think it's it's kind of a burden, if you will, but they're getting better at it because they know, it's an extra practice round.
Tell the kids they don't have to worry about me not playing.
Absolutely.
That's it, exactly.
They should have some fun at least.
Now, as we kind of encourage people to go out and watch, at least go a part of these events here in the city of Cheyenne, but is this something that the public could attend, kind of be out there in a PGA kind of style event of, out there watching? How do folks go about doing that?
Nick, all they have to do is just show up. We don't, there's not a gallery fee. We have plenty of parking. We turn our driving range into a parking lot because that's really all it's good for anyway. But that's beside the point. We do that, so there's plenty of parking, and Pro-Am Day is just fun to watch because you see a lot of guys going for things, and and then the first couple rounds of the tournament, you get to see some good golf, and then Sunday the last 4 or 5 groups are fun to watch.
So far, knock on wood, looks like weather's going to be pretty consistent throughout this tournament. But let's talk about the golf course, and we were chatting before we got there. We're talking with Mike Lepore, by the way, Airport Golf Course Pro, and Mike. We hate the snow, we hate the bitter cold, but you protect the greens now every winter, and of course it looks like forever when the golf course is going to get into full shape, but we get a few rainstorms, and next thing you know, the golf course is just in fantastic shape. And we've had the ideal type of rain, as like you said, minus the hail, so the golf course is playing really well right now.
The golf course, Larry, is probably as good as I've ever seen it, and we're ready to go. Ron Kennard and the city crew have done an excellent job. And I just got to give kudos to the city because they support us in this, and they do a good job. They understand that it helps the community, so they break their butts to get the thing into shape, and and Ron's probably one of the best superintendents in the region, and he can grow grass on a rock. I always said.
Now turning tomorrow, it's a practice round, and you'll see basically the whole golf course all day tomorrow is just going to be jam packed with golfers, pros and amateurs getting in a practice round. But for the pros that haven't been here, and I think you got quite a few that are. Making first time appearance.
Looks like we're going to get a lot of first time players.
So they're going to look at the golf course, and they're going to see holes 1 and 2, and they're going to salivate like everybody else does. But what holes right now are looking good, and what couple holes would you say are playing really tough right now?
Well, Larry, I wouldn't classify our golf course into holes. Our golf course is nines. The front 9 for those guys, for the pros and the good amateurs, they can't take the driver out. They've got to be smart. They've got to hit it into places where they can hit the second shot and get it on the green, and have that chance for birdie. On the back 9, they can open it up a little bit, but with the trees growing like they have, if you hit it offline and you hit it in the grass, you're still going to have problems. The front 9 is the side where you have to be careful.
Right.
I think, from a and I'm not a long hitter, but from a long hitter standpoint, which is what you'll see, you have to be careful there, because if you hit it too far, and if you hit it sideways, you're not going to score like you should. And on the back 9, it's like I said, it's a little more wide open, and you have a better chance to score. But if you shot high on the front 9, it's awful hard on the back 9 to make that up.
So basically, it's patience on the front 9.
Yes.
And then on the back 9, you can kind of let your hair down
a little bit, Larry. But if you hit the ball sideways on the back 9 anymore, it used to be in the old days. you could hit the ball sideways on the back nine and not get into too much trouble because we didn't have any grass and not very many trees. Now
they're grown up now.
That's
those
right.
Trees, yeah,
the trees have grown up and the grass is long, and you hit it in the grass and you're not going to get it out.
So that means you have a shot, I do believe, though. Again, I've seen you. It looks like it's getting sucked up in like a tornado of how.
No, I hit sideways, and unfortunately, I hit sideways all the time. So, usually if I'm teeing off on would be 13, if I recall, I usually end up on 18. And I just walk into the clubhouse after that and just say I'm done.
Anyway, kind of give up like that. Again, as we're kind of getting to at least time, as we have a next guest coming in here shortly. But Mike, I'd be kind of remiss to not ask, at least again, as you are head coach over at Cheyenne Central, as we did have Paul Hardigan, Cheyenne East earlier, at least this season. But just kind of give us a recap of how Central did this past year.
Oh, I was pleased with the Mighty Fighting Indians. We don't have a lot of world beaters, but we got a lot of kids that are getting better. I've got a couple freshmen and sophomores that are doing a great job, and we're just working hard and getting better. I know, that sounds, well, all your listeners going, yeah, okay, so that means you're not very good. We finished third at state, which was good for us, and we get to play at home this year for state in the end of September, and. I'm looking for pretty good things from us. Kelly Walsh and East are going to be tough. There's no question about it. But I think if we work as hard as we have, we're going to be right in there.
Yeah, and don't dismiss the fact you got a lot of banners hanging there at Cheyenne Central for teams that you've had in the past.
It was just the oddball year you had to watch the rival put up one.
Yeah, and again too, but also this is something too. When we talk with Paul, same thing with Mike here. You've had that opportunity through your career as a coach at Cheyenne Central. You've seen a lot of your golfers go off, not to just go to, and again, I'm not going to use the word JC, but
right.
you put a lot of golfers in D1, whether it's at UW, moving on, but right. You've had that opportunity to see those golfers go on to bigger and better things, and then come back and play in your own tournament.
Yes, yeah, there's a bunch of kids that have come back to play in the Wyoming Open, and that's a great thing. And not only that, Larry, but they've come back to play golf in Cheyenne. They've come back to work and live here, and that's the thing that's most rewarding to me. I've been fortunate. We've won 11 times. We've had some great kids, girls and guys both. But the thing about it is that we've developed some golfers, and that's the key for me. We've had some great players. I mean, Josh Creel just comes to mind because he's been the most recent, but there's been so many. Clint Krieger, Jared Dean's starting to have a good career over at the university. On the girls' side, Beth Purcell, a long time ago, had a great career. She played on the Futures Tour for a little while. Emily Woodard had a good career and went to school and went to school and learned something. So that's the key.
Right.
That's the key.
Well, we wish you continued success out at the golf course. Again, looking forward to and again, I know you're going up against the Cobble World Series, but you know what? We can catch some golf. We can catch some baseball.
That's right.
And again, it's going to be a lot of fun. Pro-Am Thursday,
yes.
And then the big boys shoot them up there on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Of course, you have amateurs out there as well, too, participating for some prizes as well. So, again, $10,000, the purse for the winner this year at this year's 62nd Annual Wyoming Open, the Terrell Auto Center Wyoming Open at the Airport Golf Course. Thank you to our friend Mike Lepore coming in and chatting with us, and we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
All right, good half of football, boys. Now, good is good, but we can always be better. Look at Taco John's. They took those tasty little potato lays and loaded them up with bacon and ranch and all kinds of good stuff. They made something good even better.
Taco John's new loaded potato olays are loaded with craveable toppings for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even dessert.
So olay the day, boys, and play like you're making loaded potato lays.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? They can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. They have a 16th-month CD at an APY of 2.05% and a 27th-month CD at an APY of 2.27%. You can feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner. The time is now, and the place to go is Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service for their annual model clearance sale of Jayco RVs and fifth wheels. This is your year to travel the countryside, and what better way with your Jayco RV from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. And to put you on the road today, save 30% on their annual model clearance. Their savings are always the best on whatever model you select. Come see and take home your favorite today when you buy from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service at 6102 East Highway 30 in Cheyenne, or go online to jollyrogersrvs.com. Wow, it's hot enough out there to fry chicken, so now's the time to find ways to beat the heat, and Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, is the best place to go to get cool. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, which provides complete air conditioning, installation, inspection, and repair services, is offering its air conditioning inspections for just $98. So beat the heat right now by calling Marv's Plumbing and Heating today at 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
Oh, we had a chance to swing the sticks there with Mike Lepore as we were talking about the 62nd annual Terrell Auto Center Wyoming Open coming up at the Airport Golf Course. Now we're going to swing the sticks, and we are going to swing wood coming up here beginning tomorrow with the Cobble World Series. We had Rick Thompson in for the Mustangs. Here. Yeah, and now we get Ty Lane in with the Sixers, Post 6. And first off, let's talk about the past weekend tournament where your team was in action again. Close, but it's almost like you see the forest through the trees. This team just seems to add more to their character every time they're on the field.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we've had a long summer up to this point. It feels good to be home now for a while, and we'll be home pretty much throughout the month of July. And we've been tested in several different ways, and this team has been through the gauntlet. So now we kind of get home, relax, recoup, try to recharge and get ourselves energized for the finale of our season, the Wyoming Legion State Tournament, and hopefully the American Legion Northwest Regional.
You just can't be too disappointed. And again, nobody likes to lose a game or lose a tournament type of situation, but your arms have just been the thing to talk about all season long. I mean, your starters, if you put in that middle relief guy or that closing guy, they've done the job for you all season long.
Yeah, absolutely. Our starting pitching just keeps coming out and giving us opportunities to win games. And, we've used Braxton Ennis a lot in the back half of baseball games, and to be able to bring a guy like that in to try to hold on to a lead or hold a team at a number to shoot for coming back from behind has been huge. And we just keep plugging away. The key for us is to throw strikes, work ahead, and play defense. And if we can keep doing that, we're going to have a chance to win it again.
How are the arms feeling, though, again, as we are getting close to the end of the regular season again now, as we're heading into this Cobble World Series here in Cheyenne? Just what's kind of the overall health of the team heading into this tournament?
It's actually been very good. The depth of our pitching staff has been huge. Not every year do we have 5 or 6 guys that can go out and give a quality start. So, our arms have basically thrown once a week, and that's been good for them to keep them healthy. But with that being said, we're getting to the point in the year where we monitor pitch counts very carefully. We're trying to keep our guys energized and make sure their best stuff is available at the end of the summer.
A friend of mine took me down and introduced me to a former pitcher who pitched his career with Atlanta and wrapped up with Philadelphia. And I know his main thing is to be a pitching coach. And he showed me a lot of pictures of pitchers that were throwing wrong. And this leads to me what I've seen with your kids and pictures that are properly shot by the newspaper. And it seems like all of your hurlers, instead of having the downward motion and coming up and throwing it over the top, they all have that wingspan type of approach. I'm very impressed with that. Is that something that your brother has taught these kids how to throw the baseball? Because realistically, that's what should be taught to these young men as they're into that part of pitching. It saves a lot of elbows.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that we go to work on in November every year is trying to clean up everybody's motion to the dish. And Jade Lane, our pitching coach, and Josiah Ward, a guy who pitched at Memphis, who's our JV pitching coach right now. Those two guys have done an unbelievable job of trying to clean that stuff up and try to create long-term health for the guys in our program. And you're very right. If you can kind of pick the elbow straight back instead of dropping the hand down out of the glove, that will clean up a lot of the elbow issues that you could have later on in your career. So we've definitely been conscious of that, and with something that we've worked on, and we're just keep trying to do that and still be able to not sacrifice location and trying to do that.
With your kids, are they full wind-up guys, even if they will come in relief, or are they a typical of a pro today that they will come out of the stretch and throw for you?
We have several guys that are mainly just out of the stretch. And you're starting to see that happen more in professional baseball, even for starting pitchers. Some of them will have that half wind-up, half stretch delivery to the plate that you see, and a lot of that just comes back to trying to prevent the Tommy Johns or the torn labrum or things like that. And it's a lot easier to be clean out of that delivery than it is with the full wind-up. So, it's something that we think about. We have guys that do both. Sometimes they'll come out with the start and they feel better out of the wind-up, so they'll do that day. So it just kind of depends on where we're at.
Talk about a change of the times. I always hated throwing out of the stretch. I was just I couldn't do it at all.
I wish I'd have met his brother 40 years ago, and then I wouldn't have had this scar on my arm.
Absolutely. But again, as right now, it's coming up tomorrow, but we are finally here. It is Copa World Series time, as we talked with the Cheyenne Mustangs yesterday, but now we do have Post 6. And again, just talk about your pool. We do have kind of the pool at least set up right now. It looks like a few teams that you might have seen, but just overall, what do we know about the teams competing in Pool C right now in Caba for Post 6?
Well, we know that Cherry Creek is, obviously one of the premier programs in the state of Colorado, and that's always a tough test when you go up against Mark Johnson and that club. Game day, I know a former guy who played at University of Arizona who's played in Cheyenne several times. He works over at that game day area, Colt Sedbrook, so they should be tough. We've played the Rocky Mountain Oysters, and they took it to us a little bit, so that's another team in our pool. We've played the NoCo Roughnecks a couple times, and they've got a very good club. We've won some close games with them, so really the competition in our pool is going to be very, very tough. We've got to finish in the top 2 in our pool just to get out to the bracket play. So that will be a challenge for us and our guys, but we're ready to try to take that on.
But not a whole lot of mystery, though. Again, it's teams that you've certainly seen. You know what to expect out of them. They might change here in a bit, at least, again, to kind of move on and bracket play with Caba, but it's something that, for you as a manager, though, it's certainly at least – where we talk with Rick, he doesn't know a whole lot of, at least out of the Pool A side of these are teams coming throughout, but these are, at least for Post 6, do you kind of see it as an advantage of, hey, I know what to expect. We did this against this or that team. I know how to adjust against. Do you kind of see it as an advantage?
I feel like, Pool B and C are at a little bit of a disadvantage. Due to the fact that we have 12 teams over on that side and only 4 of them are going to get out to the bracket, whereas Pool A has all 5 teams making it in, guaranteed. To me, it feels a lot like 2 different tournaments. There's a 5-team tournament on one side, a 12-team tournament on the other, and we know that the teams on our side are going to be very tough and difficult to beat, and we're going to have to play very well to get out of that. And then, we have to start trying to win our games from game 1, whereas, the other side can save pitching and wait till the bracket play part of it to do that. we're in a tough spot, Pool B and Pool C, to try to win this whole thing. But we're going to give it our best shot.
In 2 days, you got to play 4 games.
Yeah.
So again, and very good point that Ty Lane made with us again, Post Sixers skipper, joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Whereas in pool play, you can get by with a loss, but here you come right out of the box. You got double dipping, and you got to go with your aces right out of the box.
That's right.
And again, if you are fortunate enough, you can save some arms, but you better have a lot of arms ready here for the first couple of days.
No doubt. And then to get all the way through it is going to take 8 games, 8 starts for us. The depth that you have to have as far as pitching goes to get through this gauntlet on our side is it's going to take a lot. So we know that there's good teams over here. We know a lot of teams in Pool B and Pool C. So it's very similar to stuff that we've done, but we're gonna have to play at a high level to try to get to the back end of this.
And not taking anything away from our Laramies and our Gillettes and Caspers and what have you as you get ready for the state tournament here for American Legion, but this here really a type of tournament like this is going to get you battle tested real quick as you get ready for that tournament, because that's going to be inside your guys' barometer here pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the main reason that we wanted to be a part of this tournament, to be able to play the teams in our pool, the quality of competition that we have, and do it on our home field where the state tournament's going to take place is a great preparation for us. And we really measure ourselves against our former teams that we've had, and what our measurement stick is how do you do in the state tournament, how do you do in the Northwest Regional, can we be the first team in the history of the state of Wyoming to get to a World Series. And all of this stuff is just preparation for that and trying to get there, and we're excited to be able to play a Cherry Creek or a Rocky Mountain Oysters here at Powers Field and kind of prepare us for that.
In all the time that I've been here, and being a baseball fan, I would have to say, and you can agree or disagree with me, I would say this is probably one of the more battle-tested teams that we've put on the field, that you have really just taken them from one extreme tournament to another. I mean, it's not like we've had any lollygag-type tournaments. You guys have been in one kick butt after another tournament.
Yeah, and we've talked about that a little bit before, but it's just a testament to Tag Lane and everything he's done with this program, and us being able to kind of continue that to get our program more opportunities to play in higher, more elite type tournaments. And right now, this was probably the first year we've gotten to the point where we were able to go one week into the next every weekend, week in and week out throughout the summer, of just playing in the top tier level. And our kids have played very, very well and competed right in the mix. We've been into the Final Fours of most everything we've done, and we've won the Nooch. So, this team is tested. They believe in themselves. They think that they can beat anybody, and they're right. They're right. They can compete and play in with anybody, and we're excited to see how this team turns out at the end of the summer.
In your opinion, with this comp, at least World Series happening here in Cheyenne again, on our home field again with you and the Cheyenne Mustangs, but is there any kind of felt pressure right now of kind of representing, again, it's your home turf, again, you're defending your home fields, but is there kind of a feeling amongst the coaching staff and players right now of kind of pressure of saying, well, we need to make it to that championship game. They're coming to our territory. We need to prove something to these teams coming from New Mexico, Arizona, California, also to the local Colorado prospects. What's just kind of the feelings right now heading into this tournament?
Yeah, obviously we want to play well, but I think that for our club, like I said earlier, we judge ourselves based on how we do in the state tournament, how we do in the regional tournament. For us, this is another opportunity to prepare for that. We want to play well. We want to get to the back end of this thing. But it really comes down to, doing the right thing for our arms, doing the right things to help prepare this team to try to get to the American Legion World Series in Shelby.
How much does this tournament ask of you and of the Mustangs for assistance? Again, this is not your tournament, and it's not the Mustangs tournament. It's, the Caba tournament. And really all you get to do is manage and pencil in the lineup and make changes. But to a certain degree, you have to help out a little bit, don't you, in this tournament?
Well, for us, we're just a participant. That's as much as I know. So, we're here to compete and play in it. We paid our entry fee just the same as anybody else, and we're going to compete and prepare for our games, and that's where our focus is at. If they need assistance in some way, we're going to do the best that we can to try to help them out. But our focus is on our club right now and preparing for that.
Do you still feel, though, even though you're a participant in the tournament, you're still the homeboys in this tournament?
Well, yeah. We're playing on our home field, and that's huge. It's been a long time since we've had this caliber of teams come in and play at our field on. And, we've had to do that a lot, is go into Cherry Creek and play them on their field. And we've done that year in and year out. So it's kind of exciting to have it be the other way around and kind of get that hometown edge feel for our guys. But the biggest thing is we've got to figure out, we haven't played well at home over the last 10 days or so. We've played all right, but we can play better than what we have played. And it's time for us to figure out how to play our best baseball at home. It's a different environment playing in front of your fans and not being the team going after people, but more having the target on your back. So we're excited about that.
Also with the scheduling, too, you have to like that you have the later games, too.
Yeah. The game times are in our favor. I just, again, feel that the bracket is set up in a way that, you're not going to get a true champion out of this tournament. It happened to play extra games on our side. Whoever gets to the end is going to have one less game, throwing less pitchers, have to win from the jump. So, we understand that. We're ready to face the challenge, and we're going to perform the best that we can.
Talk about being battle tested. This is where you're going to come out with some bumps and bruises, maybe literally and figuratively. But
you won't be scarred, but yeah, definitely you're going to be needing a lot of ice for some arms. That's for
no doubt.
We're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back. We're going to finish up our conversation with Ty Lane. We'll be back after these words right here on 1480 K-Ray.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 K-Ray AM, are just that, local, serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 K-Ray.
Is your free checking account no longer free? Lose those checking account fees and lose the hassle by switching to Platte Valley Bank's Value Checking and experience truly free checking. With Platte Valley Bank's Value Checking, there is no minimum balance required, unlimited check writing, no per check charge, no monthly service charge, free net banking, free e-statements, free bill pay, free mobile banking, and Platte Valley Bank customers can use their debit cards at any ATM anywhere absolutely free. So stop by Platte Valley Bank today and lose those fees with Value Checking.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast, only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 92 and winds out of the south at 10 to 15. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 58 and winds out of the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. On Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 88. And on Wednesday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 57.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on the show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
Well, we got two teams participating beginning tomorrow with over 80 wins between them throughout the course of our baseball season, and that is a testament to the style and character of these young men that we have here in Cheyenne, representing us on Post 6, as well as the Mustangs.
As I said, with the Cherry Creek Classic, at least that tournament, there was a possibility to see these two teams clash in the championship. I mean, I
wouldn't have a problem with that either, and I would be definitely in the stands. I'm not paying, but I'll be there. No, anyway, we're talking with Ty Lane. Ty and Nick was mentioning that he was at the Firecracker tournament this past weekend where you went medal. Again, I know a bat's a bat. I played with metal in my over 35 and one day just put it away and said I like wood. I'm an old traditionalist. Is there some differences for the guys? Do they kind of have a little mental imbalance when they got to go, I got to get away from metal into the wood? I mean, this is going to be an all-wood bat tournament for these guys.
Well, we've played a lot of wood bat tournaments throughout the course of the summer, and we won one in Pueblo, and so our guys are pretty comfortable with wood. The biggest thing for us is that at the end of the summer, we got to use the metal bat, so we've got to try to get our guys as comfortable with metal as they can be. And it's more than just hitting with a metal bat. There's a little bit of a psychological difference pitching to a guy that has a metal bat in his hands compared to pitching to a guy with a wood bat in his hands. And so we're trying to eliminate that from our pitching staff and just attack the guy the same way you would no matter what. So obviously with metal you can get jammed, you can hit it off the end of the bat a little bit more, and
you can make a mistake,
get some more, get a better result out of it that way. But as far as clicking one pretty pure with the BB Core rules, if you do that, I think it's pretty close to the same metal and wood. The way that they've kind of dumbed down these wood bats a little, or metal bats a little bit. So,
if you had your preference, would you rather just be all wood bat? And again, too, I know as we just had the College World Series, I don't understand why they would allow metal all the way up through there, and then when you go into the minors or rookie ball, it's back to wood. I mean, do you have a preference one way or the other?
My personal preference would be to go all wood, everybody. I think that just puts everybody on the same plane, and we want to try to teach these guys how to play baseball at the highest level, and if you want to do that, you need to learn how to hit with a wood bat. And so I would prefer all wood, but it's really not that big of a deal to us which way you go. So we're ready to handle both.
With the wood bat, and I know you wanted to say something there, Nick, but again, at Powers with wood, again, it gives you an opportunity to better play small ball. And again, I know you like to use all facets of the ballpark and play baseball the way baseball needs to be played. So is it one of those where whatever it takes to put a run on the board, to scratch out a run, scratch out a hit, that's going to be in play for you in this tournament?
Oh, absolutely. We do that wood and metal. You might bunt a little bit more with a wood bat, but really when it comes down to situational hitting for us, we want to execute that with wood or metal, hit behind runners, elevate the ball with the infield in, do different things to find a way to score runs. And, that's one thing. Our guys, numbers-wise, offensively, have been solid, but we don't have several guys that have stood out numbers-wise. And for us, it's team offensively. And we've done a great job of learning how to play team baseball, and we're starting to execute that at a pretty high level offensively.
And going back to the combo again, a lot of your games will be in the evenings, especially over at Powers Field. As we talk with Rick Thompson again, lighting could be an issue at least at the few ballparks here. Again, Pioneer at Powers, at least they will be doing a few practicing at least at the evening, getting adjusted to those lights. But is that something where, for this tournament, to kind of prepare yourself, are you looking at maybe having an issue with lighting out there, worried about that at all for these next couple games?
For us, we play a lot of night games at Powers Field. And there is a window from about where we are at this time of summer. It's about 8:30 p.m. to about 9:10, 9:05,
which would be on the
9:10.
right side, right?
Right.
Or on the first base side.
Yes. Well, if the first baseman looking back towards the third baseman, but even after the sun goes down and the sky is grayish, it is very difficult to see fly balls coming off the bat. And that's not even a lighting issue. That's just the way it's set up. And, not everywhere is like that, but because of so much open space around our field, it is that way. That's something that it will be huge for us, because with us being the host team for the Legion State Tournament, we'll play those 7 p.m. games and those night games, and we're going to have the opportunity to do that in this tournament, which is just going to give us more game time, more experience playing in those conditions.
At Powers Field, I will give kudos to the building of that ballpark and the way the lighting was set up, because, again, that is stadium lighting,
right?
And it does provide excellent lighting on the field, but also, too, very rarely, I would say, and Ty, correct me if I'm wrong, very rarely does a ball get into play that gets lost in the lights. I mean, those lights are up pretty doggone high.
They are up high. The biggest part is in that window. The sky color and the baseball are pretty similar, and you can lose the baseball at contact point. Now, there's ways to find it after that. The lighting does a great job of being able to re-pick the ball up. But it can affect your jump off the bat and which direction you're going. And that's something that we're going to work on, and we're going to have the opportunity to be a part of for this week.
So in this tournament, again, we mentioned yesterday when we were talking with Rick, good possibility. And we, I know we, speaking you and me, Nick, would be happy as all get out to watch the Mustangs and Post 6 in that championship round.
Yeah, I don't think it's a far-off possibility. I absolutely think so.
And again, you never know what will happen.
But that's the only way we would see
that's
these two teams.
the only way we're going to see it happen. However, if you were to win this tournament, and this is a Connie Mack Baseball World Series tournament, you don't really participate any further than this tournament here, right?
Yeah, so this will qualify the winner for the Connie Mack World Series, and that tournament actually takes place the same time as the American Legion State Tournament. So, for us, for the Casper Oilers, if either one of us were to win this tournament, we would bow out of the Connie Mack World Series in order to pursue what our main goal is as American Legion baseball teams.
Hopefully that doesn't cause any more controversy that is already with this COBA tournament. Now we have to figure out who's going to represent or something.
I would think in a situation like that they would pick the runner-up.
I would think so.
If it was a Connie Mack.
Do you realize who runs this thing? We've talked to that gentleman before.
We don't want to get into the politics.
It's hard to. But
all right, we're gonna let Ty go because I know he's got to get. I'm assuming you got practice going on here today. So we wish you all the best. Looking forward to catching a couple of games out there at at Powers Field. Again, double dips. You're going to be out there, I would assume, early tomorrow and doing, or you're going to have some advanced scouting out there just to, get a little bit on your bracket?
Yeah, we'll check out some of the teams in our pool a little bit. We've seen most of them before, so we have a good idea of what we're getting into, and we know we're going to have to play high-level baseball to get through it. So.
All right. Sounds good. We wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Ty Lang joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Don't forget the COBA World Series tomorrow, all weekend long, going on at Powers Field, Pioneer Park, also at Lansing Field. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe just in case Dutcher Field has also been reserved. But I see the three, Lansing, Pioneer, as well as Powers, are going to be in play for now. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back after these words on 1480 K-Ray.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
As Cheyenne's weather turns warmer, dust and pollen can become a problem for those with allergies, asthma, or respiratory issues. And the last thing you want in the summer heat is poor air quality in your home or office. So it's time to turn to Marv's Plumbing and Heating. That's right, Cheyenne's most trusted plumbing, sewer, and heating business also services air conditioning. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, can handle all your air conditioning needs. Give them a call, 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And it is hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, being brought to you by a great list of sponsors, Lincoln Way Liquor at 2825 East Lincoln Way, Marv's Plumbing Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. The Wyoming Montana Safety Council, call 635-4592. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. We also want to thank First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Lennox Auto Body ×2, the main repair center over on Dunn Avenue, and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. You will find them on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle, right next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank. You will find Rick and his great staff, the original location on Banda High. Of course, the other location right there at the corner of College and Pershing, Platte Valley Bank ×2. We also want to thank Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Menards, Ray and Cindy's place. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. And Taco John's of Cheyenne. Today, Tuesday, it is Taco Tuesday. And most importantly, we always kick things off with our scoreboard. And our scoreboard is being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We always go first to Nick, but he's going to probably let us down by saying, I got nothing.
What do you mean let you down?
You let me down because you got nothing.
No,
you got nothing.
Because the local teams let me down. They're not playing today.
You got nothing.
They play tomorrow in the Copper World Series, as we've been mentioning. Again, all that schedule and information we will pass along on the social, or at least I will. He doesn't do anything. Again, I'll pass along on our social media sites on Twitter and Facebook. Because again, guess what? Tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, we're not doing a show. So
we're going to watch baseball.
Look for the social media sites, at least for Wyoming Sports Talk Today, to find who, where, when, why, how. Again, all that for the Copper World Series. How to watch both Cheyenne Mustangs and the Cheyenne Post 6 Sixers.
All right, on the Major League scoreboard, we've got the Yankees and the Orioles hooking up again at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Nats and the Buccos at PNC. Rangers, Red Sox at Fenway. Reds and the Tribe at Progressive Field. At Citi Field will be the Phils and the Mets. Brewers and the Marlins at Marlins Park. Motor City Kitties of Detroit, they will face the Rays in the Trop. SunTrust Park in Cumberland, Georgia has the Braves hosting the Blue Jays. Cardinals and the Pale Hose, they will get together at Guaranteed Rate Field. Royals and the Twins at Target Field. Athletics and the Astros at Minute Maid for tonight. Diamondbacks and the Rockies at Coors Field. It's 95 right now at Coors Field. Patrick Corbin on the hill for the D-backs, and it will be Tyler Anderson, who has thrown well as of late for the Rockies.
Who cares if it's 95?
Cubs of the Giants.
Try playing baseball when it's 120.
Well, Cubs
Vegas.
of the Giants in comfortable San Francisco, 70 degrees.
And
a little breeze off the peninsula. And it'll be Johnny Cueto back on the hill for the Giants tonight. They had a good one, 11 innings last night. Oh, free baseball. Really wanted that last night. M's and the Angels at Angel Stadium of Anaheim. Dodgers and the Padres at Petco later on this evening. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Well, it was mentioned last night as I was watching the Giants and the Cubs over on MLB, where it was mentioned, Nick, and I'm sure you already got that word. And I didn't realize that Buster had some hip problems, but he's going in for the big needle during the All-Star break, so he decided to step down.
I told you that.
No, you did not say that yesterday.
At least I told you that he stepped away, at least, again, from my understanding, again, with Wilson Contreras.
Wilson Contreras had more votes. He ended up having more votes, but Buster decided to step away from the All-Star break. He's honored, but I guess Kuiper and Mike Krukow last night on the broadcast were saying that this has been irritating him all season long, so he's going to go in during the All-Star break and get the big cortisone shot there to alleviate the pain.
Good on him.
And Yadier Molina from St. Louis will.
You asking me how to pronounce his name? How do you not know how to pronounce his name?
I don't care.
A multi-time All-Star, again, one of the best, at least current catchers right now in all of Major League Baseball.
Well, anyway, so he will replace Buster on the All-Star list.
Again, no one really cares. Again, the MLB All-Star game, as much as I'm all for watching the introductions to see the players there. I certainly love what MLB does, especially on the jerseys, the kind of presentation. But the game itself and who is playing it, I was all for when it had something on the line. Now, sorry, MLB, you kind of lost me where I'll watch the beginning, but the game. Sorry, I got to stick true of every other All-Star game. I'm not watching. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Sure, it's a competition, but it's not going towards anything.
Well, and
I don't know how to explain it. Again, with the NBA All-Star game. Sorry.
See,
it's not even East versus West. It's team whoever versus team whoever. But, again, it's a dunk fest. It's not going towards anything.
And again,
unless you're there, unless you're in person.
You got a lot of these guys, except for the first-timers, because most of the first-timers are making probably the minimum of about $500,000. But, you got multimillionaires that are in the All-Star game.
Okay.
And back, again, when I was your age and even younger, when they played the All-Star game, these guys weren't hauling down that kind of scratch. And the winning team per player was getting $2,000, and the loser was getting $1,000. And I
don't think the MLB is going to put up a grand prize like that. If you're trying to say, it's something more than what they are making right now, go for inflation.
What I'm saying is, I think it's like $4,000 that they get the winning team. Each player gets $4,000, and the losers
a drop in the bucket for most of them.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. But you think back in the 70s.
I'm just saying
this was a lot of money. $2,000. I remember the late Harmon Killebrew from Minnesota. It was like, hey, this is like we busted our butt because it's $2,000.
All right. Again, are players going to risk everything, especially now?
No, now they're not. Well, you don't. I guess you missed the 1971 highlight. Go back and look at that highlight where Pete Rose comes busted into Ray Fosse and wins the National League game. I think it was like a 2-1 game.
All right, here I am.
Ray Fosse was a great catcher.
It's 2018. They're not playing for monstrous money to win this thing. Again, it's not where the World Series home location is kind of set, or at least what league gets home field advantage in the World Series. Sorry, again, if I'm a manager, if I'm Bruce Bochy going, hey, Brandon Crawford, be aggressive. Slide into everyone, get that win for us, or at least take care of it for the National League.
I agree.
Do you honestly think
I understand that? I understand
do you think those players out there, again, it certainly is an honor. Again, it's a great thing, but is it something where I'm going to risk it and potentially injure myself for something that is not really worth anything? Again, what are you there? Obviously, the All-Star game, hey, it's a great bonus to add to your career, but again, you are competing in on a team that is fighting for something, again, especially if you are with the Giants, if it's Arenado with the Rockies, are you out there going, yeah, let me slide
the
head
fans
first.
vote you in. The fans vote in the starters, and they want to see the starters do something. They voted them in for a reason.
I think it's like the NBA. It's kind of it's a popularity contest, at least for most of the time. Again, not to the extent that the NBA is, where again you saw years where Kobe was just a shell of himself. But hey, he's near his end of his career. Here you go, Kobe, go have fun. But you know, at some point it is kind of a popularity contest where hey, you know, your fan base pushed it enough. We got him in. We think he's doing good. Go have fun. I mean, it's still a situation.
Well,
again, it is still fan voted on. There are, hey, I like Buster Posey. I'll vote for him.
I know, but
hey, there's Bryce Harper. He's a big name.
Well, let's go back. Let's go back to when Bud Selig was the commissioner, and he decided, because he screwed everything up.
How?
I mean, under his tenure, we had no World Series because of the baseball strike, and then we also had an All-Star game that was a tie, and so we never had a tie again. We wanted to make sure that somebody won so they would have a home field advantage for the World Series. Again, things that were changed under Bud.
Again, it wasn't a bad.
Wait a minute. Prior to that, it was altered. It was like this year it will be the American League will be the home team. Next year it was the National League, and that system seemed to work for many years.
I mean, they're trying to do that again. That's what it felt like if they were kind of splitting between over here it's in Washington. Well, next year it'll be in Seattle or it's in Cleveland or something. And again, they still do play
and
by.
They used to do that too. They used to have National League Park, American League Park, National League Park. But I'm talking about World.
But obviously now you have
Series.
to kind of get to where every location gets that opportunity.
I understand it, but the World Series though was already set in stone. This year it's going to be in American League. Next year it's at the National League. This year, in 2 years it's going to be in the American League. But we always tinker with things, and sometimes it's not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong.
You got to tinker again. Where you're certainly losing out on viewership again. How many people are actually tuning into the All-Star game coming up for the MLB?
What do you want out of the All-Star game? What do you want to see that makes it exciting for you?
I mean, ironically, again, the stipulation with the World Series, it's a little too high. Those stakes kind of seemed a little ridiculous, but again, it was something where it's like, oh, okay, something's on the line. It's a competition now where something of value is on the line. All right, I'll tune in. I tuned in for those World Series. Since it's been away, again, I'm looking for the introductions. Hey, cool, there's my Giant representation. There's, Oakland A's. You can see who's all out there. And then I'm done. Sorry, I got something else better to do on the 17th of, something better to watch than that. It's a situation, and again, it's nothing against the MLB. It's with any All-Star game. It's with the Pro Bowl. It's with NHL. I just have no interest. And again, it's a game where, I'm not saying that they're dogging it. Clearly they did in the Pro Bowl years ago, but it's kind of that bad taste where, I mean, you're not putting 110% out there. Again, not saying they're half going it, but it's not the full go.
I would think the guys that are at the plate are trying to hit the ball. You got to remember, what you're facing most of the time here, and this is what I liked about past All-Star games, when you were batting, you were facing number ones of other teams.
All right.
And again, now it's become a situation that you're on the All-Star team that the manager tries to play everybody. Everybody gets in. Well, that wasn't the case years ago either.
And again, that kind of ruins it as well, too. Again, for me, viewership of the MLB All-Star game, yeah, sure. It's like, all right, well, there's Crawford. He's in for maybe an inning or two, gone. All right, I'm done. Again, especially being a fan, for me, of my fandom, again, I'm only interested of my, at least players of my team, and then all of that's like, well, Curious to see how you do, but of the rest of them, whatever your competition.
But you still haven't given me.
I just did, and again,
so the definitive is winner take all. Basically,
of something. Again, monetary. I don't care if they're all competing for 4,000 or whatever a piece. I don't really care. I don't really care about that. Who is that something?
The winner would be
something. And what that would be again, where Bud Selig and the brass of MLB decided, hey, it's home field advantage in the World Series. again, I still tuned in, but it was a situation where I thought that was a little too extreme to put on the line for an All-Star game. But, it certainly got me tuning in where it's like, all right, well, I got to pull for the National League. I got to pull, my teams here in the National League. I got to hope that they can get, World Series home field advantage, especially those years with the Giants, in 2010, 2012, 2014. Guess what? At the time it was, AL won. Now they got to go to those AL ballparks. Again, for me to tune in, you would have to put something on the line. As weird as it may seem, again, it's kind of like a practice, or not even a practice, but a scrimmage. It's a preseason game to me. Sorry.
Well, and that's how it is with pitching. You only see guys a couple innings. But, you made a good point there, though, too. The only good thing about Major League Baseball's All-Star Game, it actually takes a break during the mid part of the season. Basketball, a little later on. Hockey's always a little later on into the season.
Not too later on.
I mean, they try to break in the middle. But at least NHL has made it a little more exciting during their All-Star break instead of just having.
Well, they have the skills. Again, the game itself, I do not. Well, they got the brackets again with the divisions, but still, though, it's still nothing where I need to tune in for over on NBC Sports. Again, it's a situation where I'd rather watch the skills.
And the NBA this year allowed them to pick their own teams.
I don't care. Same with the Pro Bowl. Hey, here's some legends.
So why do we have it then? If you don't care, why do we have it then?
It's for the players, obviously.
No, it's not. It's for the fans.
It can't be.
The thing sold out.
Well, again, if you're in attendance, absolutely. I mean, again, if it's down in Denver, yeah, sure, I would love to go. If I'm wherever this is attending, yeah, you want it's something in person to experience, not on a TV though.
Okay, but why even show it on TV then? I mean,
I don't know. I really don't. And I would love to know what the numbers are of comparative of this to at least an All-Star game to just a regular season game. Hey, here it is, ESPN Dodgers Giants compared to the All-Star game. It might be a little bit more, but I don't think it's anything miles ahead or, compared to a playoff game. I don't think it's even in the close realm of, hey, here's the first-round wild cards. No, I don't think it's anything in the realm. But again.
You still haven't given me.
Oh, I'm like, just.
No, I'm trying.
I gave you again what that solution is. I do not know. I'm not in there, but
that's why I'm trying to put you in the marketing department there, and you give me a good reason to watch.
Again, I don't know what you would do with it, but it's something where what I would want at the core, to answer your question here, as I've done it many a time, is put something on the line. Put something, whatever that is, whatever that brass can figure out
on the line. Don't you want these guys then to go all out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But these guys, what you're saying to me right now, these guys don't go all out in this.
I really don't
think
so.
Like they did in the past.
In my personal opinion, I felt like you would probably go a little bit more out, especially with World Series home field advantage as a stipulation and everything. Now, and again, you're putting me on kind of bad situation.
No,
here. I'm
not trying to. I'm seriously.
But it's a situation where, again, hey, Brandon Crawford, go slide head first, or be aggressive on your stealing, or make some impressive moves for basically to win, $4,000. No, I really don't think so. Again, not saying that they're going half speed or anything like that. It's a situation where you're not putting 110% out there for this. Why would you?
Yeah.
Why risk the injury?
And like I'm saying, again, since I'm way older than you,
but also too,
back then the All-Star game meant something, but it meant a paycheck. These guys that got into the All-Star game,
that goes to Manfred and the MLB of, are they going to put up bigger money? Are they going to you basically inflate the prize money for this team to kind of make it equivalent of it was back in the 70s? And again, what that would be is you're talking. What, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe $1 million or something?
I don't think they'd ever even cough up about $25,000 per winning share. So anyway, we're going to take a timeout. It's good conversation, and I agree with Nick. Believe it or not, even what you're saying, that's why I was putting you in charge of the marketing department. What do we do? What do we do to make this thing exciting? Because we don't want to risk injury because, again, we're talking players that are worth millions of dollars.
But, yeah, that's the catch-22 with it, again. Is this something that MLB lives or dies off of if you do have great viewership on?
Nah.
I don't think so.
Nah.
I really don't think so. Again, obviously, what they live and die off, especially when it comes to time, is the playoffs.
And
that's when you want.
That's all they care about. All right, we're going to take a time out. We're going to be back with more Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words here on 1480 KRA.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
John Mason here for Lincoln Way Liquor. I want to thank Cheyenne for helping us grow during our first year of business. We have over 5,000 new customers in our database in just 13 months. Our customers love our low prices, free ice, 2% credit for future purchases, and some really friendly service. And we always have 16 weekly specials on beer, wine, and liquor. We ask you to compare Lincoln Way Liquor, 2825 East Lincoln Way. We're not the largest, but we might just be the best.
The time is now, and the place to go is Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service for their annual model clearance sale of Jayco RVs and fifth wheels. This is your year to travel the countryside, and what better way with your Jayco RV from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. And to put you on the road today, save 30% on their annual model clearance. Their savings are always the best on whatever model you select. Come see and take home your favorite today when you buy from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service at 6102 East Highway 30 in Cheyenne, or go online to jollyrogersrvs.com.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 92 and winds out of the south at 10 to 15. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 58 and winds out of the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. On Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 88. And on Wednesday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 57.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Perotti, Nick Perotti. And, well, it's
what?
Not really sports, but it's...
I mean, with the title of the show, it is Wyoming and Wyoming-centric. It does deal with the University of Wyoming and the mascot and team name over there, so...
Right, and it's an interesting story. I read it yesterday on the news, and
it's making its way around, especially... local media throughout the at least kind of regional area, and it's starting to make headlines around the nation of what's going on over there in Laramie. But
and I was asked this earlier today, and my thoughts were, well, what do you think about this? And it's like, Wyoming has always been, even before I got here, I knew it was always a tucked away state, conservative, does its own thing. Doesn't want to be bothered by anybody.
It's also to a state, and nothing that alludes to what we're about to talk, but it is also to a state that is, at some point in time, kind of behind at least the 8 ball and the curve on a few things of, come on, it took you ever long to get a Powerball here? Really? Come on, Wyoming. At least, again, there are a few things.
So what you're basically saying, the good old boy network is in place here. That's
I think absolutely. Again, where there are a few things, at least advancing in other states around this nation, Wyoming does kind of tiptoe throughout and kind of drag its feet along and going, well, we got to keep to the old what we're used to. It's like, well, whatever. But again, it does not reflect of my opinion of the upcoming story we're about to talk about. But you at least go into it, at least you know a little bit more about this than I do. I just picked up the article, and this I was reading out of the Casper Star Tribune of what this was, but you know about it a little bit more.
Well, it says here faculty groups are criticizing a new University of Wyoming marketing campaign built around the image of a cowboy.
And the marketing, at least firm that got this, was out of Boulder, Colorado, too.
Saying its proposed slogan is sexist and promotes a white heterosexual stereotype.
And we are in that kind of PC culture right now where, again, and obviously with it being a college campus, again, not saying all college campuses are like this at all, but it is kind of that theme of, that youth around there and that kind of college mentality is, don't want to hurt anyone. That PC, you got to be very politically correct.
All right, now listen, the slogan that is the product of the Boulder, Colorado-based marketing firm, Victor and Spoils, to which the university has already paid
$500,000. $500,000 for a slogan. That's just
here's the slogan. The world.
You could have paid me $500,000, and I'd give you, at least a logo or something else on top of it. You paid $500,000 for a slogan.
The slogan is the world needs more cowboys.
I'm more upset about the $500,000 where you couldn't invest that into like AC units for like the dorms out there or improving something university. You had to do this for a slogan.
Hey, I've seen dumber things,
how
Nick.
Dumb is that?
I've seen dumber things.
Anyways, that's not the issue, but
the line initially gained the attention of faculty in the spring when it was mentioned in a faculty senate meeting. It immediately drew criticism. Faculty members are reporting. According to Angela Jamie, the director of the American Indian Studies Department, I was really disappointed in the university for endorsing such a negative slogan. She had lots of different reactions.
But again, the slogan is the world needs more cowboys. And again, obviously with the Wyoming Cowboys, that's what it is. Again, obviously with the logo, it is a cowboy riding a bucking horse and everything. But right. Again, as I look at it, all right, cool. It's do I pass a glancing eye at something like that? It's like. For me, more so, it's like the slogan's whatever. Who cares?
All right, now Chad Baldwin, who's UW's associate vice president for communications and marketing, defended the slogan. He said the university's campaign would recast the concept of a cowboy, and that if the school couldn't use its own mascot in marketing materials, then it should just get rid of it altogether. So he said the people of Wyoming aren't going to stand for that, he said last week. In my opinion, there are people who are critical of it, who haven't explored what we're trying to do. A foundational element of the campaign is that we're recasting the concept of the cowboy so that it represents everyone associated with it. So I guess here's my question to you, Nick. And again,
that proposed slogan again, as it was. It's supposedly sexist and promotes white.
Would it still be sexist and racist if they would have just said the world needs more cowboys and cowgirls?
That's what I was telling you. Again, if you want to settle things down, at least that would have made more sense.
But then again,
that would have made more sense.
You're talking only cowboys and
cowgirls.
And
how do you define a cowboy? Again, there are cowboys, at least again in a general term, that could be of all races and whatnot. Certainly. Again, I don't know how you just go and assume that a cowboy is just that, but again, as I was telling you with this situation, especially just to kind of break it down with the sexist issue, I mean, I get it. Am I offended by it? Obviously, take my opinion for what it's worth as a male, but again, sure, all you need to do, University of Wyoming, to keep it kind of on that equal side is, absolutely include cowgirls, and there you go. But the insinuation that promotes a white heterosexual stereotype, come on now. Again, it does not say anything. It just says cowboys, and again, I feel like we're at the point in time where you're just upset about anything.
Well, but it goes back though, and again, I have to date myself again. This goes back to the Stanford Indians, where they ended up changing their whole moniker to the Stanford Cardinal, and you don't have a cardinal on your helmet, you have a tree on your helmet.
I don't know.
And back in the day when they were the Stanford Indians, all they had was an S on their helmet.
All right.
So they never really, referred to themselves as.
Well, I mean,
Indians.
we've even dealt with that here in the city. Where again, I remember my first ever year over at Johnson High.
Right? Yeah.
Again, it was the Johnson Indians, right, or Redskins.
Johnson Redskins. You became the Firebirds.
That's right. Yeah. Again, it was that, and it kind of now ties into the Washington Redskins and all that stuff. Absolutely, I get that it is a derogatory word to a few. It's almost as bad as, if you had to talk about a kind of really kind of crazy, at least term, you look at Evanston with the Red Devils. Right. That one seems way more offensive than anything.
This is the lone university, and again, the young lady here, and
it wasn't something that the university was going, hey, we're trying to exclude everyone. Again, what is it? It's the Wyoming Cowboys. Obviously, you could include the Cowgirls and everything, but again, it is your teams, your sports, again, athletics. You are known as the Wyoming Cowboys. And that's all they're doing is, hey, but the world needs more Cowboys. And again, when you go there, you are a cowboy and a cowgirl.
But who was here first, though? Again, and this is where I stand behind Angelina Jamie.
You might want to be careful what the hell you're talking about.
No, the director of American Indies.
First.
The Native Americans were here in Wyoming first. That's what I'm saying.
I thought you were going to say the Cowboys. I was like,
no. I'm just going by what her.
But I'm just saying the slogan as is, though. Again, I get where the university was going because again, obviously you tie it with your athletic teams. You are known as the Cowboys. Absolutely. Hey, we're trying to get more of you to join us here at the university. But it was a bit of a slip. All this rest of the stuff, again, the heterosexual stereotype, the white and everything, blah, blah, blah. It's just...
It's your PC
It's people
world.
over there just complaining about nothing.
It's your PC world. But
again, all the university needs to do to tweak that is just say...
2 words.
The world needs more cowboys and cowgirls. That's it. I think that's perfectly fine. And again, those who are assuming or at least, putting the cowboy, at least a cowboy term and cowgirl term as something where it's something that only white people do, it's like, no. All races can be a cowboy. It's insane. It's insane.
Again, this is the world we live in, pal. And
it's just weird that it's coming, at least it's 40 miles to the west of us.
It's crumbling down every day, pal.
I can see it happening out in Las Vegas and everything, but again, over in Laramie, are you kidding me?
Well,
again, I just can't get over the fact that they paid $500,000 for that stupid thing. Again, you couldn't think that up on your own.
Well, and the good news is
you couldn't save that money and put it towards something else.
The good news is
that's where I'm more offended.
The folks from Boulder, Colorado, turned it into a controversy. Your $500,000 now turned it into a big controversy.
Yeah, they put that controversy on the university. Where are those people? At least, are we? Is Victor and Spoils getting controversy down their way? Are they feeling the wrath of this?
They don't care. They're spending the money.
That's true. They already got their $500,000.
They got their $500,000. They're in the Bahamas right now having a nice little Mai Tai on the beach.
Everyone in
Laramie, and they don't care if it's cowboys or cowgirls.
Have fun with our slogan. We're out of here.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We got more Wyoming Sports Talk today when we come back.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy, we'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Are you thinking about purchasing a home? Then Platte Valley Bank can help. With Platte Valley Bank, you can count on local decisions and expect to work with an experienced staff to design a loan to fit your needs. Just log on to pvbank.com and fill out our online application. We have money to lend, and at Platte Valley Bank, we are in the business of fulfilling dreams, enriching lives, and building our community one loan at a time.
All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. If you missed out on the World Cup earlier, France defeated Belgium 1-0. So Coach Valdez had Belgium winning, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday. So
yeah,
they're hasta la vista.
Yeah. Sorry, it's baseball time.
You got that right.
Again, nothing against soccer, but as we talked off air yesterday with Rebecca, it's like, no USA, no Italy in this thing. It's kind of like the playoffs. I'll equate it to any of the four major sports where, again, if my teams are not in the playoffs or at least competing for something in kind of postseason action, I don't really tune in.
So I'm
not really that interested. At least for the championship game, or at least for the World Cup, I might entertain of like looking at it for a bit. But again, it's nothing against soccer. It's just kind of sports in general of how I approach it. If my teams aren't competing in it, I'm not rooting for anyone. So it's kind of like the World Series last year. Houston and Dodgers, especially the Dodgers being in that thing. Yeah. I'm not watching that at all.
But like Wimbledon, I bet you don't have any care about tennis on the grass. For example, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Serena Williams.
I was going to say the Williams sisters are always fun to watch.
Well, Serena's like ranked 25th, and she won her match today. So she. Matter of fact, she lost the first set like 6-3, and again, we're talking about a young lady who had a child, and
she's not young to you. I mean,
she's in her 30s, yeah. But I mean,
they've had a long career.
Yeah, and she's trying to come back after having a child, so she is making that long journey back. But anyway, she moves on. She won today, lost the first set 6-3, won 6-3, and then won the third set 6-4. So, I was just curious if you follow things like that. Tennis. Especially when
I know when that stuff is happening, but is it something that I'm tuning into? Again, I don't really subscribe to cable television at this point in time, but it is something that I do keep up. At least I wouldn't say keep up on, but I do know it's happening.
I would follow
again with like, for instance, like the French Open just happened. About a month ago. Again, it's same with kind of golf, where I do know these tournaments are happening. Is it something that I'm tuning into? No. I'll look for the end results or who's winning these things, but that's about it.
I will peek into Wimbledon, and like you said, especially with the Williams sisters, and of course, you have to watch Federer. Roger Federer is always a big name on the circuit. I will watch Wimbledon. I will catch the U.S. Open. I will bypass on the French. I don't know, for some reason, watching on the clay doesn't get me all fired up anymore, and I don't watch the Australian Open, but I'll catch a little bit of Wimbledon, and then when they move on to New York for the U.S. Open. Let's see what else we got going on here I wanted to get back to this.
What?
The National Football League Players Association. No,
I don't want to.
No, you want to, because this is a PC world. And they filed a non-injury grievance today challenging the legitimacy of the NFL's new national anthem policy on several grounds.
Which is no surprise that they would.
The union's claim...
I told you that this was going to happen.
Oh, I know. The union's claim is that this new policy imposed by the NFL's governing body without consultation with the NFLPA is inconsistent with the collective bargaining agreement and infringes on players' rights, according to the NFLPA. The National Football League Players Association, which was not consulted about the anthem policy change, argues in its grievance that peaceful demonstration during the anthem does not qualify it as conduct detrimental to the integrity of and public confidence in the National Football League. The league will need to rely on the broad powers afforded the commissioner through the personal conduct policy, including applying the phrase conduct detrimental to decide whether to fine teams whose players demonstrate on field during the anthem. NFL fans are accustomed to hearing that phrase as justification for penalizing players accused of illegal and or
right now, I am at the mentality that I was during the 2016 election, where I don't care anymore. I am so over. I am so done with this back and forth, just nonsense between the players and the at least with the board of the NFL, the owners, the players. It's a back and forth, just volley between these two. It's never going to get solved until something major just happens.
Again, the major thing should happen.
Yeah, the NFL closes.
No, well, that would be.
Or again, 2020 XFL.
Or people stop showing up.
And I think they will. I think, well, obviously,
you're going to have some of those. Again, this is a political issue, Nick. So you take a.
You're going to have sides. You're going to have your half and half and everything. But yeah, again, the NFL did address though that this past season they did see, fans were at least lacking attendance from everything around this. But it's a situation where, the NFL needs to get it together. They need to figure this stuff out. They need to, on every single side, whether it's owners, players, the board, players association members, whoever is involved, they need to get on one page. Because, and again, as I mentioned there in kind of tongue-in-cheek, but again, you're going to have these evolving football leagues coming up here very soon. The XFL, as we had that announced by Vince McMahon, again, who is looking to invest quite a lot of money. We're talking billions of dollars into this thing. They already have a commissioner set up again, as it's set for at least to open up and start play in the year 2020. But again, it is going to be a league that's going to be aggressive against the NFL. And I think McMahon kind of went out and said that of, hey, everything you are not happy with in the NFL, we're going to take it and we're going to do it right. It's a game for you, the fans. We're going to make you happy. We're going to make sure that you are tuning in for this. It's something that, the guy gets it. Obviously, with how long he has been with WWE, again, it's fan-centric, it's fan-oriented, it's for you. This is why we put our bodies on the line. It's to entertain you, and in return, you come out and support us. Again, this is a serious thing right now that the NFL needs to address of, it seems, not saying that it's crumbling at the sides, that the NFL right now is at the point where they're going to collapse and the NFL does not exist, as much as I don't really care. But if it did, hopefully the XFL does succeed. But, it's something that they need to address very quickly before these other leagues get into play and say, hey, the NFL is still a garbage truck on fire right now. Come over and watch our football.
But the NFL,
come over where we're a zero tolerance. We're doing it our way. We're addressing every negative issue that this league has. Come on over. We're going to be more fun.
Right, and you're right. But the NFL will still stomp the McMahon's league.
I hope not. For me, again, I love the NFL. I love my 49ers.
I understand.
But I do got to pull for the XFL. But I'm really interested.
Anybody that's come up against the NFL, the giant, has never been able to succeed. Now let's go back.
I think McMahon, though, he's been plotting this.
Let's go back to all this coming down. This is what's wrong with the National Football League. The leadership is weak. We already know that. Roger Goodell's.
Yeah, he has no spine. We know that.
And if you go back to that first time that
the guy who flip-flops.
No, you go back to the first time that Colin Kaepernick made his statement.
Which was kind of unprecedented. Again, it was a situation where
it caught everybody off guard.
Oh, yeah, which is fair.
Why wasn't Colin Kaepernick called into the commissioner's office that Monday?
Because they were probably traveling. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. But the point is, he should have called him in that Monday and said, "Hey, look, why are you doing this?" And then Colin would have said, "I'm doing." Well, obviously he, the media got to him.
Well, the media figured out.
The media got to him before Goodell. But the thing is, he should have got into Goodell's office. Goodell said, "We can't have this happen. They should have been prevented."
But again, you're talking about a guy who is, again, I'll say for all words,
he's an idiot.
He's spineless, and I think why he would not do that, or at least a situation. Again, he would have nothing to say. Is he going to come down and go, hey, Kaepernick, you're not doing that again in my league? No, it's
no. I would, and again, if I'm Roger Goodell, I would have sat Kaepernick down and said, I'm sorry, but you'll need to stay in the locker room. We can't have this.
He's not going to do that. There's no way. There's no way that Goodell would ever do that.
And then Kaepernick could have went to the NFLPA. I would have sat down with the NFLPA and say, we can't have this happen. This is not
Goodell is the guy where he's just going to go, hey, the league is going to figure this out on its own. I don't need to do anything. Let me cash my paychecks and just go on.
Well, and then also, too, then you have clowns like Jerry Jones who say it's okay, and then all of a sudden they pull back the reins.
Jerry Jones is a moron.
I know, and this is what gets me. He's in the Hall of Fame, but Pat Bowlen isn't. I mean, this just drives me nuts. And again, we had ownerships that were dumber than boxes of rocks that allowed it. Then all of a sudden now it's like, well, we can't do that anymore. I'm going to have to fine you, or this is what the league says. You know, I mean, some of these owners talk out of both sides of their mouth as well, too.
I'm so over all this stuff.
Well, again,
there's more bigger news out of the NFL than that. And again, this is something that is not going away from anytime soon. It's going to carry on.
What's bigger in the NFL than this?
The Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
Accusation, at least LaShawn McCoy, if you've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was accused earlier, at least I do believe of yesterday, accused of beating his ex-girlfriend named Delisha Corden. Yeah.
Here's another clown during the national anthem who was doing exercises.
LaShawn McCoy?
Yeah.
Well, again, this is an accusation. It was made by a friend of Corden's, and at least in a since-deleted Instagram post that did include a picture of Corden's battered face. Again, if you've seen it, it is pretty rough. But now police in Georgia are saying that Corden was the victim of targeted home invasion. Public records show that Corden and McCoy at one point shared an address in Georgia. It's a situation where, again, if you look at the police report, again, it's an accusation. He's not guilty. He's not found guilty. It is that situation where you got especially in this day and age. We just saw what happened out in San Francisco. Again, with the player out there with the 49ers, it is a situation where you do have to walk on kind of eggshells with this of going. You can't put him under can't put him under the grill on this one just yet. You have to wait and see. We are in a world where she might have made this up. She might be trying to get money out.
Here's what he
says. We do not know.
Here's what he says. I do believe this is what on Twitter.
Yeah.
For the record, the totally baseless and offensive claims made against me today on social media are completely false. Furthermore, I have not had any direct contact with any of the people involved in months. So.
Yeah, and again, that's coming off of he put up at least a photo or at least a note on his Twitter account about that. But again, it is definitely a serious situation right now. Coming out of Buffalo, again, a big star with LaShawn. But it is a situation as well here in the NFL of where we just saw recently, especially out of San Francisco, falsely accused. Again, where she was targeting him to get money and extort, again, as he kind of broke up with her as an ex. Again, this is a situation where McCoy is ex-boyfriend with this individual. It's weird to say that we are at that point in time where it's like, maybe she faked it. Again, it is a photo, and it's a pretty graphic photo, but, we do live in an age where you can alter things. There are known as special effects. You can do makeup styles into making it look pretty rough. It's just a weird situation where that kind of sits in the back of my mind right now of, did she?
Well,
did she fake all this?
He's innocent.
Or is he in truth?
He's innocent until proven guilty. Excuse me. Sorry. Well,
anyways,
all of a sudden that came out of nowhere. Yeah. But he's innocent until proven guilty.
It'd be interesting right now. Again, obviously, this is kind of hitting right now as this just recently happened. But curious to see what the Buffalo Bills do with this situation. Do they go kind of like with the 49ers, with GM John Lynch out there going, hey, for the time being, just kind of step away from the team. We are not fully out releasing you because, again, you are innocent until proven guilty. That situation with the 49ers, hey, again, you made that gamble and it kind of paid off where she was lying. What do the Buffalo Bills do in this situation? Should they go in that same route like GM John Lynch did with the 49ers of going, hey, just kind of stay away for a bit, let this, go under the court of law, but you're not being released. You're still a part of this team at this moment until you are found guilty, if so. Or do the Bills just need to go and distance themselves and go, hey, we're not going to sorry. We're innocent or guilty. We're just not having any of this.
Well, here's the NFL. They said in a statement, it was reviewing the matter. The Bills released a statement saying they were in contact with McCoy and the NFL and continue to gather information. So that's basically all we got from now. Also,
we need to take a break.
No, before we take the break here, another incident. Former USC head football coach Steve Sarkisian.
Idiot that he is, yeah.
He lost a $30 million lawsuit that claimed he was improperly fired by the school instead of being allowed to seek treatment for alcoholism. Oh, okay. An arbitrator last week ruled in favor of USC, saying Sarkisian concealed his condition from the school. In a statement Monday, Sarkisian said he was disappointed by the decision, but will respect it and move on. He was fired in October 2015, 2 months after he appeared to be drunk during a pep rally. Sarkisian sued USC for breach of contract and discrimination based on disability. His acknowledged alcohol problem, he later agreed to binding arbitration. Sarkisian went into rehab after he was fired and is now offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. We were all thinking back in 2015, hey, Pat Hayden, great move there, pal. Pat Hayden was on the firing line as the athletic director at that time for that great hire.
Again, the NCAA just dealing with more stuff. Again, until the NCAA becomes more aggressive. And I'm all for, second chances.
Hey, the NCAA is the second coming of the NFL.
Yeah, the NCAA.
You got 5 guys there that are just as bad as Goodell.
Yeah. Anyways.
They're a bunch of knuckleheads.
Anyways.
All right, we need to take a timeout. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back with more right here on 1480 K-Ray.
Hello, this is Pastor Nathaniel Ensley with Blessed Hope Baptist Church in Burns, Wyoming, and I would like to invite you to listen to our weekly broadcast entitled Hope for Today, right here on 1480 K-Ray, every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Our goal during each broadcast is to bring you a simple and short Bible truth that will be a help to you. Sure hope you can tune in. God bless you.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Boys, I know you take great pride in being prairie dogs, but a mascot needs more sizzle. And what has more sizzle than Taco John's new sirloin steak burritos? So meet your new mascot, a sirloin steak burrito.
Taco John's new sirloin steak burritos are loaded with steak and bold flavors like cheesesteak, steak and potato, and steak and shrimp.
God, Wachowski, stop eating the mascot.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Wow, it's hot enough out there to fry chicken. So now's the time to find ways to beat the heat, and Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, is the best place to go to get cool. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, which provides complete air conditioning, installation, inspection, and repair services, is offering its air conditioning inspections for just $98. So beat the heat right now by calling Marv's Plumbing and Heating today at 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 92 and winds out of the south at 10 to 15. Then tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 58 and winds out of the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. On Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 88. And on Wednesday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 57.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame.
Let's play ball!
You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today in the closing moments. Again, thank you to our guests that have stepped up to the microphone earlier today. Mike Lepore getting us all primed for the 62nd annual Terrell Auto Center Wyoming Open, which will be at the airport golf course, beginning with the Pro-Am Thursday, and then the pros battling for 3 days over at the Par 70 course.
And again, it is a situation where you can go and watch this as well.
Absolutely
too.
free.
Free.
Yeah. Then also, too, we want to thank Ty Lane coming in, as we had Rick Thompson yesterday. We had the post-Sixer manager in, as they got a double dip tomorrow, 5 and 7. They'll be
5 and 7:30.
5 and 7:30 at Powers.
Tentative schedule.
And over at
obviously
Pioneer,
it's all tentative because again it has to go. They're all playing back to back to back the game. So if for whatever reason, may go extra innings.
Oh, yeah,
may
I got
go.
you.
I would assume there are 10-run rules in this one, as maybe ends after 5.
Yeah, I think most of those type of rules will be in play. Yeah.
I would hope so. Again, the mercy rule. Again, we've seen some Mustang games where they get out of hand. It's like, ugh.
Speaking of the Mustangs, they will be over at Pioneer. They only have one game tomorrow.
Yeah.
So again, our locals both in action and both in this tournament. And the only time that we may see them play, if we get that,
it's
chance,
not
they would play
the only way they can.
Yeah,
is
be
in
on
the championship.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
but again, we'll keep you updated on the social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, all that fun stuff. Again, because obviously, hey, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, we'll be out there doing that thing, and there is no Wyoming Sports Talk Today show because again, we got to watch some baseball.
Oh, absolutely.
Again, baseball, it starts at 9:30 a.m., goes all the way to probably 9:30 p.m. So a full 12-hour venture.
There's going to be a lot of baseball going on here. And again,
Pioneer, Powers, Lansing,
and that's those
even
three,
maybe Dutcher.
That's just, I think, a spillover.
Possibly.
But I doubt it.
But you got to be prepared for it just in case.
Well, I would think Dutcher would be available in case one field is unplayable, and that'd probably be more like Lansing than anything.
Yeah.
I was just reading here, and I didn't, and it's going to take longer, but reading about LeVar Ball's new 8-team league, and I'll tell you what, this one guy who wrote about it earlier, his name was Jesse Washington, said, I don't think so. Now, wait a minute, I'm backtracking. So he's kind of thinking that LeVar's little 8-team semi-pro league is going to open the door for future NBA players. These are guys, and again, the ones that are playing that lost scholarships.
Not even that.
Out of high school.
Yeah, it's a situation where, hey, if you don't want to go to college and you just want to go and get paid to play, this is your kind of league. That's essentially what LeVar kind of came out, and that's why he developed this league. Is it's a situation of, hey, high schoolers, or if you don't want to play in college anymore, or for whatever reason, like for instance, a Leangelo Ball that did get removed out of UCLA. Hey, come play for my league. Come compete against these, and they're at least kind of judge. It is
JBA, the Junior Basketball Association.
And again, it is a situation where they do have tryouts. They do have, again, it is kind of selections where, not everyone is out there to play. No, you still have to be top-level talent to be at least considered in these, at least in this league. And it is located in 8 cities, pretty much the main markets of L.A., Chicago, New York, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's certainly, if you are hesitant to go to college or you don't want to, you want to get paid right out and then have the opportunity to head off to the NBA, this is absolutely that league to go into right now. From what I've been hearing about the games and everything, it's not bad, at least play.
Well, they had two games Tuesday last week in the 13,000.
I think the attendance is the only thing that's kind of an issue.
It was in the 13,000 seat Infinite Energy Center. The rules are same as the NBA with a distant 3-point line, 24-second shot clock, 12-minute quarters.
Yeah.
So again, like LeVar's son, I think it was Leangelo, who's.
Well, Leangelo and
LaMelo, I guess, and he was playing for the Los Angeles team.
Yeah.
He put up like 30 to 40 shots in that particular game. So again, I think what whatever his name is, LeVar is trying to do. I think basically he's trying to get this thing up and running and have all NBA scouts come out and watch his 8 teams.
If they're not already there, again, this is still youth talent. Where again, these are still good players that have the potential to go to the NBA. And again,
but they're kind of bad eggs, though. If you get my,
not all of them. I would not say that at all.
Let's say some of them are bad eggs.
You might want to be careful on that because
bad eggs. I'm talking about.
It is their choice, and again, this is playing during the summer right now, where again they have that opportunity. If they don't want to go play for an AAU team, here's this opportunity.
Let me throw one of them. Bruising big man Nate Morris was kicked off the University of Mississippi team after arrest for DUI and speeding. I would say he's kind of a bad boy, wouldn't you say?
All right, that's one.
Explosive athlete Nyang Wack was expelled from high school midway through his senior season. There are some bad eggs in this thing. I didn't say all. I said some. Anyway,
but I'm just saying this is still an option, though, if you do not want to go the college route, if you want to just get paid right here and now and compete in this thing, it is an option for those. And again, it's going to attract the bad eggs, but it's also going to attract a few other eyes outside of going, I could compete for a national championship or do whatever at Kentucky or anywhere in the NCAA, or I can get paid. I can get money. Again, especially to a young athlete out there, what is speaking volumes to you? That's money.
All right, we got to wrap things up here because it is time to say bye-bye. We're back with you again on Monday with Wyoming Sports Talk today. We're going to be out watching some baseball, trying to even sneak in some golf over at the airport golf course this week. Do invite you to enjoy our music while we are gone. And again, like I said, or get out and catch the Cabo World Series or, again, the 4-day tournament over at the airport golf course. Let's see, Red Skelton times 2 from 8 until 9, as we will have our Golden Age Radio Theater.
As we always do.
And from Monday through Thursday.
As
and
we always do.
9 until 10, we will have Suspense Theater. We wrap up the program before we get into the best of the 50s and 60s with our On This Date in History. So let's see what happened.
Yeah, let's wrap it up quick so I don't have to smack you. Anyways, because I want to go home. What? Don't give me those eyes. July 10th, as it is right now, we'll go back to the year 1968. This split happened. That's all I'm going to give you, because it's pretty much given right there. But July 10th, 1968, this split happened. I will not give you the sports, but it was a split. It split into this. It went from 2 to 4.
Went from 2
in this sport. That's all I'm going to give you.
Went from 2 to 4. I'm drawing a blank.
July 10th, 1968, the U.S., I don't know why they have it listed, but Major League Baseball announces it will split into 2 divisions for the 1969 season. So it was originally, again, American League versus National League. No, it was, again, in 1969, it became the AL East, AL West, NL East, NL West.
All right.
So you have that split.
That's exciting. And with that,
because it was also to the introduction, I think that was a year that they brought in Cincinnati to the league. So
Cincinnati had always been in the league. Maybe you might think of Montreal.
In 1969? I thought it was Cincinnati was.
Since the Redlegs have been part of Major League for a long time.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was the Montreal Expos.
I don't know. There was something about the Red.
And I think it might have been the Seattle Pilots back then, too. All right. We need to say bye-bye. You take care. We'll talk to you on Monday here on Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
This is 1480